Hey guys, welcome back to J&J MMA. We're going to be covering the main card of this weekend's fight night. It's going to be Mr. King Green versus Grant Dawson. So it's going to be kind of an interesting card. We're going to talk about the first fight, the opening to the main. It's going to be Alexander Hernandez versus Bill Algeo, I believe his last name is. Do you got anything to say about the boys here?
Yeah, Alexander, gotta love him, man. What a great guy. After all that shit he talked about Cowboy, real solid dude. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I think it'll probably be a very good banger, especially in the first round. That's Alex. Most of his fights, dude, just goes all out in the first round. Um, been known to get gassed by the end of it, but maybe that'll change. Bill, though, I don't know a ton about him. I know he's coming off of a submission win, but I know most of his fights seem like they go to decision too. So I wonder how he'll do against Alex in the first. If he'll be able to like survive the onslaught. Because Alex, while he did get smoked by my boy Cowboy after all that smack he was talking, he is a good fighter. Knocked out Benil, which is supposed to be one of the top dogs right now. But he's also fought some other names like Moicano. He lost to him, but that was a good fight. Um, and then he's coming off the win over Jim Miller, so I'm hoping that the first one will be a good one to open with.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping this definitely has like a banger potential because the thing with Alex, like you said, dude, is he goes heavy. He gasses himself out super quick, but typically like round one, round two, he's going hard. So
Yeah,
I mean, you know that he's not going to be like bullshitting. And Bill's kind of a mixed bag. Like I've seen, I think like one, maybe two of his fights, and like I said, his last one he won by submission. But I believe his records in the UFC is 4-3. So he's kind of a mix, win lose kind of guy. So it's definitely up in the air. I feel like if he survives Alexander's onslaught, he definitely has potential of taking it, and he is the favorite at the moment. So
is he okay?
you know, we'll definitely see how it goes. See if the betting odds are correct with it.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. I was just looking at the weight, like the weight that they normally have on the stats here, and it looks like Bill's normally much lighter than Alex, which makes sense. Alex looks like a fucking stocky monster next to Bill, but that was interesting. I didn't notice that till now.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy that Alex used to fight at 55 and he's cutting more weight to go down to 45, and he's been
Is
looking
he?
better at 45. Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. Oh yeah, this is a featherweight bout, huh?
Yeah, so it is kind of crazy how much weight he's actually cutting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this makes it interesting.
Yeah, so we're gonna move on to the next fight. It's a lightweight bout. I'm kind of surprised it's earlier on in the card. I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised it's not like co-main. But it's Drew Dober versus one Ricky Glenn. Honestly, I fucks with Drew Dober heavy. I've been watching Drew Dober fight since around 2020, I believe. And, since then he's only lost 3 times. He's only lost to like some people, a more better people, if that makes sense. Like he's
Yeah,
lost
yeah,
to
like
Islam. His
yeah.
last fight definitely wasn't a joke. Um, but he's also beaten people like Bobby, who's headlining the card.
Yeah.
But you got anything to say about Mr. Dober?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this one. I'm definitely leaning heavy on Drew Dover on this one. No offense to Mr. Ricky Glenn. Um, but Drew just seems like a monster. The dude's like resilient. The fight with Terrence McKinney. Dude I swear he almost got knocked out like 4 or 5 times, and I think 2 or 3 of them were the same flying knee Terrence kept throwing. It was the craziest thing to watch him continue to take this and then just kept fighting. Really resilient. I was genuinely surprised. And then ended up coming and getting a TKO win over Terrence after the entire onslaught he received. So, just based off of that, I'm leaning just heavy towards him winning this fight. Um, but yeah, Ricky, I didn't get a whole lot about him. I know he's coming off of a loss. Um, but I mean, so is Drew, to be fair to him. But yeah, I don't have a lot on Ricky Glenn, so I still hope this is going to be a banger regardless.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping it should be a fun fight. I was gonna say I've seen Ricky's last two, And, his last one was a loss. The one before that, he actually went to a draw with Grant Dawson. That's Grant Dawson's one draw
That's
on
the
his
one he went to
record.
the draw. Okay, yeah.
So, and, Grant Dawson is a pretty bad boy.
Yeah, he
We'll
is.
talk more about him up towards later in the card, but I feel like if Ricky can hang with him, I feel like he definitely could hang with Drew. But I
Yeah, for
am
sure.
feeling like Drew has the advantage on the feet.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely hoping that Dober can take this by a KO. To be honest with you,
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting.
I mean, homie literally has a granite chin. I mean this in the most respectful way. He's built like a Easter Island head, and he fucking takes hits like it.
It's so crazy.
But so that's gonna be a fun one. But
Mhm.
we're gonna move on to the next fight. It's a welterweight bout. It's Alex Morono versus Joaquin Buckley, and honestly, I got a lot to say about this one. A lot of people are counting Alex out of this fight, and Alex is a UFC vet. He's been in the UFC for a long fucking time. And I feel like a lot of people discredit him because he does have a few losses on his record. But since 2020, he's only lost to three people. He's lost to Chaos Williams, Santiago Ponzinibbio, and Anthony Pettis, and those aren't like nobodies in the fucking game. You know what I mean?
Not at all, though.
And also since 2020, he's won 7 fights. So homie's 7-3 in the last 3 years.
Yeah, I know he
Um,
has a win over Cerrone, right?
yeah, he does have a win over Cerrone. Um, homie was kind of going like a little Legends tour, fighting other older combatants like himself, and he's not super old by any means. Just he's been in the UFC a long fucking time.
Yeah.
But he's fighting Buckley, and Buckley's claim to fame, in my opinion, is he has that flashy ass fucking knockout.
Which, to
And
be fair to him, was sick. That was really sick.
no, it
But
was
yeah,
sick. It was a once in a fucking lifetime kind of knockout. No one can take that
yeah.
away from him.
But let's
I
not forget
just
he's Kevin Holland's son too. So
he is Kevin Holland's son. I was gonna say he is Mr. Holland's son. So that's the thing is, like Buckley is very much kind of a hit or miss guy for me. I'm not gonna lie. I've been rooting against him his last couple fights, and he's been pulling it out for the most part. He was doing really good against Chris Curtis, and before Curtis fucking knocked him the fuck
knocked
out.
him out, baby. Yeah.
So I mean, Buckley is very much one of those guys that's kind of like Alex, where he fucking explodes in round 1 and round 2, and it's kind of just a matter of seeing what happens. But I feel like with Alex's experience and everything, if he can wave through the storm, I definitely feel like he has a potential to get Buckley maybe while he's tired and possibly pull out a submission.
Yeah, no, I definitely think I'm leaning towards Alex on this one. They are both coming off of wins, but it's like you said, that nice submission. Alex got that. It was such a sick guillotine choke he got on that guy. Because the dude, I forget what it was. I think he was going for like a takedown or something, and Alex just saw the chance and he just took it real quick. And it's one of those times where when you drop guard and you just go for the guillotine choke, and he had such a nice one. So he just came off of that really good, submission win. So that's definitely a possibility. I'm not gonna count Buckley out, but I'm definitely leaning Alex.
I was gonna say the submission when he got it was against Tim Means. And it's another older, fighter. It's been in the game for a little bit. So that's the one thing I'll say. Alex's last few opponents have been some older guys. Joaquin has been trying to fight more up and comers as well. But I mean, that's kind of the thing with Joaquin. Like I said, I feel like it's up in the air. But like you, I am leaning towards Alex. And so we're gonna move on to the co-main event. It's a middleweight fight between Joe Pyfer and Abdul Razak Hassan. I always fuck up his middle name, but um, both of these dudes are pretty interesting. Especially Abdul in his lead up interviews. He kept saying, and I quote, "I'm getting old as shit." I looked it up. He's 38, so he's been in the fight game for a little bit.
Yeah, I think he started back 2016, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he's been around for quite some time.
And he's coming up against up and comer Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer's he got his contract from the Contender Series. And his last 2 wins have been fucking first round knockouts. I want to say they've both been within like the first 1 to 2 minutes as well. So they've been quick.
Yeah, he's really good at stalking, like just stalking you down. Like, that was his last fight, and I'm not gonna butcher that man's name, but the last fight he had, the dude, he just kind of kept walking him down. It was pretty impressive, especially so early on.
Oh yeah, when he was fighting Gerald Mershart,
Yeah, 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 that
he
guy.
he got him. That's the thing too is everyone's talking about Gerald because Gerald's mostly a ground submission jiu-jitsu guy, and homie didn't even worry about that. He just took him out real quick.
Yeah, he's like, I ain't even tripping.
And Joe kind of trips. I mean, he's not. It's not that he's like a super skinny guy by any means, but it just trips me out how much fucking power he actually has behind his hands.
Yeah, it's probably just like, right position, right time. But yeah, I definitely think I'm gonna lean Joe on this fight. No offense to Abdul, but Joe's just on a mean streak at the moment, and I don't think Abdul's gonna stop it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like the reason why this fight's a co-main is so that way Joe can get some spotlight on him. Because no offense to Abdul, but since 2020, Abdul is 1-5 in the UFC.
Oof.
So
Okay.
I mean, he's lost to Buckley, he's lost to a few others as well. So
Yeah,
honestly,
he should be on the co-main, but
yeah, respectfully, and I
yeah.
don't see him taking this out. He seems like a really nice guy from his interviews. He seems like a dude that'd be chill to like, have a drink, have a smoke with. But other than that, I don't see him taking this fight.
No, respect to him though.
No respect. But we're gonna move on to the main event of the evening. We got number 10 Grant Dawson versus Bobby Green. I think it's funny with his with Grant Dawson. His nickname's KGD, which stands for King Grant Dawson. Cause he talked about how he originally wanted to be king, but Bobby already has that name, which is kind of funny.
Bobby the King Green. This is gonna be a good one. I think this is gonna be a banger.
So it definitely has banger potential. Bobby's definitely the stand-up guy. Grant's definitely the ground guy.
Yeah.
They're the same height, same weight coming in. Obviously gonna be same weight, but they're about the same build coming into this. Grant Dawson has one loss on his record. That was a TKO loss back in 2016. So since then, and since he's been in the UFC, he has done nothing but fucking win. And he has that one draw, of course, that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, just the one, but other than that, this dude has not lost since being in the UFC, which is crazy. Um, and yeah, he's definitely going to be a menace if they get to the ground. This dude, I think it's like 3 or 4 of his wins are rear naked choke finishes. Um, it was funny. I even saw like this fight where like the dude had him in like a heel hook. He was like threatening a heel hook, I believe, and Grant just kind of stood up and just started punching him in the mouth and ended up knocking his mouthpiece across the ring and knocked the dude out. It was sick. I was like, how's this dude just gonna let him punch him like that? That was so wild.
It's like Grant being Derek Lewis for a second.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, this is nothing. Jiu-jitsu is fake. It was sick, dude. So Grant's very much going to be a problem for Bobby. I'm still going to be rooting for the boy though. I'm still hoping the King takes it. Coming off the win over Tony Ferguson, and people can say what they want about the boy Tony, but Tony's still Tony. So that's an impressive win for Bobby, and he's fought a lot of good names. Dude's been around for a minute. Um, I think it's going to be a great main event.
Oh, it's definitely going to be a great main event. Like Bobby's been around forever. He's fought a lot of people in the fucking division, a lot of who's. People like Tony, Dustin Poirier back in the day.
Yeah, Poirier,
He's fought a lot of fucking people. And, that's the thing with Grant, is Grant's probably going to try to take him down, try to get a sub. Every single Grant Dawson fight in the UFC, for the exception of one, has ended in either a decision or a fucking submission.
Yeah.
So, and Bobby does have a little bit of jujitsu. We saw him tap out Tony, and that's a fucking feat, even though, Tony is getting there. It's still a feat to tap out fucking Ferguson.
Yeah.
And so, Bobby could always try to sneak a little fucking, submission out on the ground or something. But I feel like if Bobby can keep it on the feet, he definitely has a potential to take it. Because I don't know about Dawson's chin, to be honest. I haven't seen it really tested. Most of the fights I've seen, he's just been mauling people to the ground.
Yeah.
So, but if Grant can get it to the ground, I feel like he will take it. I am leaning more towards Grant on this, but the super fan of me is hoping Bobby can pull something out.
Same. That's basically where I'm at with it.
So it's definitely one of those that's going to be up in the air, but it's definitely going to be a fucking banger of a fight night.
I agree. I am excited to watch it.
It's going to be a good one. But if you guys disagree with any of our takes or feel a different way, Let us know down in the comments below if you have, any differing takes. We're always here to listen to them. Might respond. We hope you guys are looking forward to this fight night as much as we are. And we'll catch you on the next one.